dsf. My name is Logan, and today we are here for the review of the all new Zeekr 009. It may not be the 007, and we still don't know who the new 007 actor will be, but take solace in the fact that we can still enjoy the Zeekr 009. Now, we've already showed you the Zeekr X, that's the compact SUV crossover hatchback thingy, and the luxury brand is bringing it to Asia. The latest Chinese luxury brand is entering Malaysia. It's already open, but this is the more interesting of the two because this car is expected to cost around 370,000.
Yeah, let's go around.
So it will probably not exceed that price even by the slightest, which is a good thing because if you look at this car, immediately you will know what the competition is. And how it sets itself apart is very simple. This massive grille right here, which is unique to this car because the other competition is mostly petrol hybrid. You get the gist, right? This is fully electric.
I think just me,
why
driver seat, this is
like that. And this is actually very stylish. You couple this with the very distinct headlights right here. Something like a Zeekr Tiger Fang out. Call it what you will. But this looks simply fantastic. And of course, you've got more lights down here, more trim elements, chrome going all the way around to show you just how luxurious this car will be. So at 370,000 or below, let's see what you can get with this Zeekr 009. Starting with the Michelin Pilot Sport wheels on the side. And you'll notice the rim design itself is also very unique. It's mostly covered off and only opens up towards the extreme edges of the car. You've also got your cameras here for your 360 cam, ADAS features, so on and so forth. Another camera right here, and a nice big chunky side view mirror with another camera right there. So you have a plethora of cameras in this car to make sure that every angle is well taken care of while driving. And then of course you'll see off the side, nice and tall. You've got grab handles on the side, you've got a sliding door, and let's see if we can close this. Yeah, we can. That's actually pretty fast. Pretty fast, not bad. Most other cars in this segment, the doors close very, very, very slowly. This is fantastic, which reveals more design elements back here, followed by your massive windows and sensors. And then, of course, in the rear, another nice, sharp tail light with a light bar that runs the length of the car because why not? Your Zeekr logo right here, 009 in the model. More cameras over here, another camera over there. So there is a lot going on back here. And of course, the other bookcase is right down there. Wow. The boot takes up quite a bit of space for you, and you might want to visit that if you want to sit in this car. But you can see here, the back, the boot is actually pretty decently sized. It's about the same as all the other competition in this segment. And you've also got a false floor with your tire repair kit right there. Now with the third row seats up, you'll notice that you can in fact fit 6 people quite comfortably. But then you can put these down and they don't fold all the way down, so it's not a seamless flat floor, but you can definitely load bigger, longer items with the seats down as well. So it's very useful and you can just use it as a 4-seater the way it's intended to be used. So let's try and close the roof. See, just notice how much space it takes. Right? See how far away from the car I actually have to stand just for it to open and close. So please note this if you are in the market for a car like this. But that's not with this spoiler right here, followed by another reverse camera. There are almost too many cameras on this car. So let's talk range. Zeekr says this will do about 550 kilometers, more or less, of range. It's also got a 30-minute charging time, give or take. So the Zeekr X was 29 minutes, just 1 more minute, and of course 0 to 100 in 4.6 seconds. So a little bit slower, but then again, hey, this is a luxury MPV. You don't need it to go zoom, you just need it to waft along in silence and comfort. Speaking of silence and comfort, let's take a look inside. Alright, so inside the Zeekr 009, you'll notice that it's a lot more traditional looking than the Zeekr X on the inside. So first things first, you've got this nice polished right here with your door handles, which are more standard than the ones on the Zeekr X. You get the trim following right here, right? It continues followed by your digital driver display, which is sort of embedded into the car, kind of, right? It looks like it's embedded, but it's not. So it is technically also attached to the end of the steering wheel stalk. But then again, this is a lot more different. So depending on your driving position, it may be somewhat hindered along the edges, the top, the bottom, so on, so forth. You've got a much more traditional looking steering wheel, which is not just flat bottom, it's flat on top as well, but it's mostly round on the edges. Then you've got your rotary dials, your buttons over here off to the side, nice black color. This is a lot more, well, it gives you a lot more peace of mind than the white, right? Because it won't get dirty as easily. Then you've got this massive central infotainment screen right here, housing all your controls, and it's even got stuff like camp mode in case, just in case you want to go camping. And it has all the necessary details and info that you want and need. You can once again just go around the entire car with all the animations and control the functions such as opening and closing the doors, opening and closing the booth manually right from here, which is, in my opinion, definitely the best feature in this car. Then along the center, you've got your charging tray here, your cup holders that can't be covered or stowed away, along with your very cute gear selector right here. And it's just like this, followed by your park button and your hazard lights. Then a massive cubby here with some USB charging ports as well as a 12-volt socket. Now, it feels nice back here, obviously, right? But the mainstay of this car is obviously the middle row. I will take you to see that in a second once I've talked about here. See these lights that just turn on with a haptic sensor, and they can of course be turned on individually, one at a time, followed by your door close and open buttons here, and the sunroof shade cover, because here you'll notice a sunroof. It's split into two, a smaller one here and a much bigger one at the back. And okay, this is where you want to be sitting. So notice first off, right off the bat, you have a clock here, an analog clock digitally imposed onto the side of the door here, with all your window controls, your lock and unlock, and of course a sunshade to go along with it. This one, oh yeah, okay, so you gotta like yoink it out. Oh no, you don't? How do you... Okay, never mind, we'll figure this one out later, because obviously you're gonna want this down most of the time anyway. And of course you've also got a nice little teh tarik hook right there, far away from your face, so even on bumpier rides you can still enjoy it. And so here is the second part of the sunroof, as mentioned, which of course, let me push my seat a bit forward with the button here to show you something else. Oh, it's gonna take a while because it's very spacious back here. Okay, there we go. You see this camera right here? You guys notice this little camera? There you go. Let me open that for you. This camera is meant for the driver to check out what's happening back here, because once again, this is a very big car with a lot of space. So sometimes you won't really be able to see and hear everything that goes on back here if you are the driver. So this is very useful. And of course, the picture of, well, the video from whatever this camera is recording can also be put onto this big display right here, which I'm not sure how much this hinders the rear view mirrors view from the driver, but I'm sure they would have thought of that, because there is more than enough space, right, for the driver to see out. What other cool features do you get? Well, obviously on the left side, as you can see here, you have this nice boss leg rest going up, which means you can put your legs over there in a fully reclined position, and that is very cool. But you don't get it here on the right side, because obviously your driver's there. You don't want to accidentally activate this thing while the driver is driving, which obviously would be a bad time for everyone. Now, aside from the adjustments for the seat position here in the buttons, you've also got this sliding part, which gives you more adjustments for your seat reclining, for example. So you've also got a nice leg rest down there as well, and you can adjust the recline angles. You can even bring this all the way up, but just don't get the extra footrest in the front. So it's pretty much still the same regardless of which seat you are on. it's very, very nice. And when you don't need all these controls, once again, just push this button, store this away. On this side, you have your desk, which is neatly folded in here, and then you bring it out, and voila! Now you have a desk for your work. You can put your laptop here, you can eat a meal here, you can do whatever you want on this table. Do note that it is actually quite small, smaller than, well, the competing rivals, of course. But it's still plenty usable. And of course, you've got a cup holder here with a nice remote to control whatever is on your screen. Now, let's very quickly wrap this up by checking out the third row seats as I fully put the leg rest away. But right before we head to the third row, let me show you guys one more cool little nugget of information back here in the second row. What you do get is a nice little mini fridge with all these USB ports over here, right? So you press that button, it pushes out slightly, then you have to pull the fridge open where you can store whatever you want to store in there, your cans, your bottles, your drinks, anything that needs cooling while you're on the go. So that sums up the second row. Let's take a look at the third. So with the middle row seats pushed forward, this is actually still very, very comfortable and spacious. Now, let's see what it's like when the middle row seats are in use. So I'm going to bring this to about, yeah, it's a one-touch operation, but oh my god, push my leg out of the way. So you just press the button and it manually resets, just like how you press this button and it manually pushes forward to make space for you to go in the third row. So this for your head adjustment, by the way. And with the seat recline, it's actually not too bad. I wouldn't mind doing short distances like this because again, I've got pretty good knee room, and of course headroom is more than fantastic, right? But you've also got a nice little armrest in the corner here with another cup holder just for you, and of course your sunshade with another small hook here for whatever you want to store. And you also got aircon vents back here, which means it's never gonna feel too hot despite the aircon vents being all the way over there. And of course a little speaker here, so that you can still enjoy whatever music is being played in these cars as well. So there you have it. For the expected price of about 370,000 ringgit or less, the Zeekr 009, the newest luxury MPV offering from China, which is a full EV by the way, and gives you about up to 580 kilometers of range. So for that price, do you think this is more worth than the rivals?